Real estate, we are really weird. We are the only business that if I have a tough day at the office and I strike out, I want you to strike out too.
Greg Luczak is the founder and CEO of Luzcak Real Estate, a top-performing Colorado Springs realtor known for his client-first approach, market expertise, and strong community impact.
If you're a surgeon and you kill someone, I'm taking you to have a beer and I'm telling you it's going to be okay. It happens to the best of us. You're a good doctor. If I'm the backup quarterback and you throw a game-losing interception, I'm still like, we're a team. I got your back. Real estate is the only one where I want you to fail so I can talk to you about how bad the market is.
What's up, everybody? This is Ryan Van Ornum back with another edition of Scaling Up Success podcast powered by Cynergists. Cynergists is your go-to scalable operations company that helps people grow exponentially faster at a fraction of the cost. Cynergist.com. Today, I have on Greg Luczak. Greg, we've been friends for years, man. It's so good to see you, and thank you for coming on and being a part of the podcast today.
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. I appreciate it. It's been too long since I've had a chance to sit down and talk real estate in this kind of platform. So I appreciate the invite. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. And man, you've absolutely had a run, been killing it. And tell the audience, how you got to where you're at, because it's a really cool story. I've known you for years and seen you grow up in the Colorado Springs market and the real estate side. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So I built my business a little bit differently than most in that I was really heavy on the listing side early. So I got in the business in 2009, and expired listings were really prevalent at the time. And so really just started cutting my teeth on expireds. And in the process of doing that, sort of built out a team that kind of handles staging and marketing and photo, video. As you know, something I was kind of ahead of, the agent on the camera video thing. And so I was really leveraging a lot of that. And so a little bit different. I built a lot of my capital I put towards sort of stuff on the listing side that was a little bit different. And so did that, listed a bunch of houses. That helped me kind of get out and get my name out a lot easier, because listings are obviously a little bit easier to promote than buyers are. And then from there, 2017 grew the team, and then a couple years ago moved into the brokerage side. You said killing it, maybe killing myself, but learning a ton along the way, and I really do love this business, and so I'm hungry to learn. So it's all been really cool.
So at what point did you, like, when you started this whole thing, like, hey, I'm gonna be able to make it in real estate? Because like the washout rate is stupid. It's like 85% after like a year and a half. It's How did you know, like, man, I got the chops for this?
It was interesting. So I was working for a company in town that was a little bit older. I was working in their marketing department. 07, 08, 09 hit. They were like, no more raises again, nothing. I'm just like, man, I can't make 35 grand a year forever. And so kind of looked around the office at the time and just sort of thought, like, these guys don't seem that awesome. I think I could do this. I got my license, and then pretty much immediately I started selling. And I sold 27 units my first full year.
So real quick,
I was 30 years old though. I was 30 years old. I mean, I'd kind of been through my 20s. I was a father. I was you know what I mean? And so my back felt like it was against the wall, and I had to get in and work. So I mean, I was prospecting 4 hours every single day, 8 to noon, hours every single day, calling expireds.
So the average agent does like what, 3 or 4 deals a year, and you did 27 in your first year, dude?
Mostly expireds too. And like, and not selling a lot of houses too, right? Like taking an expired, me having like, oh, I can get this thing sold, and then learning a lesson like, okay, that plan was funky. I should have priced accordingly. So you learn a bunch of lessons, but when you're working the expired listing side, it sharpens you quick. You're having the difficult conversations. You're doing the right things to prepare the home. You're really like learning in it, because you're taking on listings that obviously didn't sell to somebody else. So you got to step up your game for sure. So yeah, the washout rate is huge. I think the commitment level is one of the biggest challenges with realtors. I tell realtors a lot. I say it is easier to fully commit and just sell 40 houses a year and eat, sleep, and breathe real estate. It is easier to do that than to think you can do all these other things and get to 25 units.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because you're pulled in so many other directions. It's like really difficult to have all of these other different hobbies and sell 20 houses. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially at the gate. People think incorrectly about that. So for me, I was kind of early on, like, like I said, back against the wall. I was coming out swinging. First couple of years, I was like doing well, rookie of the year at my first company and stuff like that. But once I got a taste of it, something I was good at, I was like, I was hooked. I hated corporate America. I hated working for bosses. I hated the yearly evaluation process. I mean, I just hated everything about it. I was a terrible employee. And so once I found something that was my own, once I found something that was my own, I was all over it. And then I think it was year five. I think it was year 4 or 5. I sold like 16 million. And I was kind of looking back in retrospect, and I was still very much in a mind state of ride this as long as you can. Let's do what we can. This is a lot of fun. And then I had a conversation, and I started, for some reason, I just looked at the output differently, and I was like, okay, this is what I'm put on the planet to do, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life perfecting myself at this craft, perfecting my craft here. And so ever since then, it's not been an issue. I'm just in full like Kobe mode. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Black Mamba of Colorado real estate right there, bro.
I I I think it may speak to how like myopic I am because I just like don't have any other hobbies anymore. I mean, I play some golf, but I'm just like not interested in anything else.
Yeah,
It's become a an obsession for sure.
I love it, man. I love it. So like one of the things that man, I know in that real estate side of stuff, people go through ups and downs. How do you stay motivated during the tough times, or is it just a discipline that you just created for yourself?
I think it is the discipline. Yeah, I think it is the discipline. So I've sort of gotten to a point where I've like trained my brain to whenever you have those things happen, a deal falls through, and usually the bad things happen in threes. So you have those weeks, right? But that is the discipline. To me, that's the discipline that separates the professionals is you get up, you go to the ballpark, you feel awesome, you're raking the ball in BP, and you go 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts.
Yep.
And how do you approach tomorrow like a professional and show up with a positive mental attitude and show up and give good plate appearances, right? To me, that's the crucible. And I play a mind game with myself anytime some of these bad things happen, a deal goes bad, deals fall out, whatever. I always tell myself, like, man, if it's hard for me, it's hard for everybody. And this is like the crucible that you have to be willing to walk through that the next guy won't be, right? This is the fire you got to get through. And so for me, once you look at it like that, and once you understand kind of that's the game, I almost liken it to like poker, where it's like, no, the whole point is not to go on tilt. That's the game. That's the practice. That's the principle, right? And so, yeah, I mean, at this point, when bad stuff happens, I'm almost like, okay, that's two more that bit the dust.
Well,
Because if it's happening to me, it's happening to a lot of people, you know?
absolutely, man. And like one of the things that I see with you is like you're you have like this thirst for continued growth. What's success
I
look like
appreciate that.
now versus when you first started? Has it changed at all?
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate that. It was funny. The first few years, I felt like such exponential growth. The learning curve was so steep. Like, I mean, you're looking back 6 months previous and you're like, dude, me 6 months ago didn't know nothing. I'm so much of a better agent than I was 6 months ago. And now the learning curve kind of flattens, but year after year, you're always adding stuff, you're adding stuff into your toolkit. Your dialogues are getting a little bit better. Your cadences are getting a little bit sharper. Your feel for the market and reading of the tea leaves gets a little bit clearer and cleaner. And so originally, I think the driving force was like just feeling myself get better that fast. But the way to do that is to get reps, right? I mean, if you're doing
Right.
3 deals a year, you're not getting very much better. But if you're doing 25 expireds a year plus you're canceling another 10 on your own that you can't sell, and you're like, okay, I'm learning from those, right? Plus you're doing all the things you need to be doing. It's kind of a natural like exuberance that comes along with it. I do tell a lot of my young agents, like, if you're not interested in this stuff, like if I got to beat you over the head to like go preview a home or price a home, this might not be for you, man, because it's 24/7. It's seven
Right.
days a week. Like, dude, it's all, I mean, I got to eat dinner with this face up next to me every time, right? It's no kind of life to live if you don't love it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's going to take full commitment just to start a business and be an entrepreneur, period. But, right? And so to answer your question and land the plane here, how have things changed? I think where things shift a little bit is when I transitioned into being a team leader and kind of having people underneath me and sort of the understanding of how important and how valuable human capital is, and just like relationships and human capital that you learn from and feed with and collaborate with to scale and also to grow. So I think where it started flipping a little bit is in 2017, where I started my team and I really started seeing lives change because of like lessons that I was able to teach and pass on. And that's when I think the growth started to hit a little differently, started to feel a little bit differently, started to feel a little bit more inspiring and things like that. So yeah, that's to me sort of been the cycle where before it was like sales numbers, then it turned to money, and now it's shifted to people. The
Love
people
that,
in the
man.
lives I can
That
help, which is awesome. And honestly, for all entrepreneurs, like the human connections, like it is so necessary to scale, and it's the hardest part. It's the hardest part of this. People always say like, "Oh, business is hard." I'm like, I don't think the business is hard. I don't think meeting a client or doing a transaction is hard. Scaling this business is hard, or any business, and the human management needed to scale a business is extremely difficult.
absolutely, man. And
Very
well,
nuanced.
well said on that. Well said on that.
Appreciate that.
So, like, man, I've kind of followed along and been in the real estate business a lot, and
You're a real one. No doubt.
the industry has changed a lot in the last decade. Would you agree?
The most. I mean, the most of any decade. The most of
Yeah,
any decade, right? I mean, literally, it used to be. I mean, this is the 19 whatever 70s, but it used to be like you'd be driving in a car, like that's Mrs. Johnson's house, that's Mr. Turner's house, right? And that's how you'd show people a neighborhood. I mean,
right,
10 years ago, it shifted to, you don't even find your client houses anymore because they're hitting you like, Ryan, come show me this house. And you're like,
right.
okay, this hit the market 3 minutes ago. How, you know what I mean? And so it went from that to e-buyers to, I say this all the time, like in 2010, if you were on someone's team, you were paying 50%. If you were at a brokerage, you were paying 30% off the top to a brokerage, right? That has totally changed. The introduction of the cloud-based brokerages and the over COVID, we all worked from home, have really shifted the business. They've shifted the bottom lines as far as the brokerage business goes. They've shifted the Pardon me. They've shifted the bottom lines as far as the brokerage business goes. They've kind of tightened everything as far as team leads go and all of that, shifting exponentially. And honestly, not even for the best too. A lot of realtors are working from home now. A lot of realtors are not honing their craft or keeping like an actual finger on the pulse of the market so they can properly advise their clients. It's shifted quite a bit. Yes, everybody's working from home. When I first got in the business, it was like Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams, Remax, maybe a local, and then like they had 60% of the market share, 70% of the market share.
Yeah,
I think if you combine those companies now locally, they might have 20% of the market share. I mean, it has really shifted. It has really shifted. And again, it's gotten really loosey-goosey. It's funky. The,
yeah,
the, the real estate business is funky. It's going to straighten out. I'm of the mindset that I think we have within the real estate space some real disruption about to happen even more so. Companies like Redfin and Zillow, those guys, they want to dumb our job down to pennies, right? I'll pay $20 to show a house. And they don't care. And they can do it for so cheap, and they can and those companies can do it for cheap because number one, they can do it nationally. They're robots. So they can do this all over. And if they think if they can get the buy side, the sale side, the title side, the loan side, right? If they can get all of that, they can do it for a third of the price that you or I could do it at, right? And so I think it's becoming so critical for us as realtors to really explain to our clients, like, yeah, I get it, man. WebMD that's cool. Use it if you want to. If you need surgery, call me. Okay.
exactly.
You know what I mean? And so, like, usually, like how things progress, the brain surgeons who got steady hands, they're going to be available to make a lot of money coming out of this. But, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, obviously a book that we all lean on and speak to, it talks about being an 80-20 business where 80% of the business is done by the top 20%. I
Yeah,
think that's shifting to a 90-10 business really quickly, really quickly.
interesting. Very, very cool, man. Well,
Yeah, I
appreciate
think
the
that
insight.
absolutely. I think the breath is starting to, I think it's starting to separate a little bit for
Yeah,
sure.
the haves and have-nots is definitely separating in there. Very, very,
Absolutely.
very good point on that, man. So as you think about this, when you made that change and you were that greenhorn realtor, like if you could go back and give Greg the greenhorn some advice, what
Yep.
advice would you give him?
So though it To me, and there's a place for role playing, there's a place for confidence building. I think way too many guys are busy role playing and going to classes, and they need to be making phone calls.
Yeah.
You need to be getting in front of as many people as possible. You need to be adding as many people to your database as possible. And to me, it's like, why role play with Ryan when I can just pick up the phone and play with an actual client, right? You got to get the reps. And the only
Yeah.
way to get reps selling and the only way to get reps converting and picking up leads is to do it. And so just if you're out there, man, like all of your focus as a new realtor should be client acquisition and client retention. Like all of the other stuff will come with time. You don't need classes if you don't have clients to do to use it with, right? Obviously, there's educational opportunities and you'll have plenty of those, but get your prospecting hours in. Lock yourself in 8 till noon, lock yourself in and make them calls. I mean, just get good at it. And you need thousands of reps at it, you know?
Got to take action, bro. Got to
Yep.
take
Yep.
action. I love it,
Yep.
man.
I think there's so much, paralysis by analysis going on. I see that with our young agents so much. The other thing I'm going to say is find people that are where you want to be and that inspire you to do so and that will hold you accountable. Real estate, we are really weird in that we are the only business that if I have a tough day at the office and I strike out, I want you to strike out too, because then we could go have a beer and commiserate about it, right?
Yep.
If you're a surgeon and you kill someone, I'm taking you to have a beer and I'm telling you it's going to be okay. It happens to the best of us. You're a good doctor. If I'm the backup quarterback and you throw a game losing interception, I'm still like, we're a team. I got your back. Real estate is the only one where I want you to fail so I can talk to you about how bad the market is and how
Yeah.
it's not our fault. So you
Yeah.
got to be careful with who you're surrounding yourself in. It become crabs in a barrel really fast,
Yeah.
really fast. And I see it with a lot of our young agents. So get around workers, try to beat them into the office, and just carry yourself with a level of urgency that your clients will feel. You know what I mean? But you've got to have urgency if you want your clients to feel urgency.
Love that, man. Love that.
No
So
doubt.
now that you've kind of talked about like young Greg and the advice, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now, man?
So one of the things I'm really working on is I'm really trying to figure out the best way I can to like hyper localize my experience. And so one of the things I am trying to do is to just be a resource to save our clients money any chance we get. So like for example, I just had a water heater go out. I had three companies that I've been sending a lot of business to over the last two companies. I'm sorry, that I've been sending a lot of business to over the last 15 years. Come out and charge me $150 to give me a $3,000 quote for a new water heater. I replaced the thermal coupling and it was fixed for 30 bucks. To me, or I had another client who goes downstairs. They notice some drywall separating with some moisture in their basement, a little seam, and they kind of deduce that their master bathroom is above that seam, and that the shower is leaking, and when they run the shower, it's leaking. Well, I send my handyman over. He takes the drain cover off, caulks in the inside around it, lets it dry, does it again, puts the deal back on, and fixes it. My client was getting quotes for $15,000 to rip out the shower pan and rip out all the tile in the shower just
Wow.
to like figure out the problem. So to me, if we can like become that resource where our clients know they can come to us for everything home and hyper localize that experience for them, I think that's where we're going. And that's how we're going to beat the Redfins and the Zillows and these companies that want to dumb down the experience to buying a house through a vending machine, right? So that's kind of where my head's at. I'm really trying to like build out and cultivate this experience and figure out how we're going to be able to pass that along to our clients. But to me, transitioning into the next market, to me, I think the best thing we can do is like, Ryan, I know my sister just got her real estate license, but like Greg saved me 5 grand, right? To me, I think that's the best thing that we can do. And it also is very predatory out here. Our clients are out here getting ripped off on a regular basis, which doesn't sit well with me. So
Crazy, man.
that's a hyper focus for me over the next. I think it's going to be one of the most important client retention tools that we can have is being that one-stop shop for everything real estate for our clients.
Love it, man. Love it. Well, I got a couple rapid fire questions. You ready to jump in on these bad boys?
Hit me. Is
All
this like
right.
first thing that comes to mind kind of thing?
Yep, first thing that comes to mind. Here we go. So what book you reading or favorite podcast?
I actually just read a book and I've been working on as a project. There's the 38 letters from John D. Rockefeller. He had one son, he had 5 kids, one of them was son, John Jr. And so over the course of like 20 years, John Sr. wrote 38 separate letters to John Jr. that speak about a whole breadth of things, raising kids with money, financial literacy, investment, future. It is spectacular. And so I've been reading that, and I've been working on kind of a book report where I sort of give my kind of cliff notes on each of those letters, sort of written to my sons,
Yeah.
so they can kind of like read the letters directly how Rockefeller wrote them, and then sort of my interpretation of them. So I've been going heavy on that, really diving deep. It's excellent. I mean, it's like it's entrepreneur Shakespeare. It's freaking fantastic. So the 38 letters, John Rockefeller.
Love that, man. Where's your bucket list travel spot?
I'm not a huge travel guy. I did the Alaskan fishing trip a few years ago, and that was like one of them. I'm actually looking at like buying real estate in other countries now. So travel is one thing, but I definitely have a few spots that I'm looking to purchase in over the next few years, which I'm really excited about, kind of putting together a global real estate portfolio.
Love it.
Budapest, Hungary is one of those. Malta is one of those. If you haven't seen that, that place looks incredible. And then I really want to kind of get around Asia a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Do you have what's on your workout playlist, or like, what's when you're what songs are popping for you right now?
I probably don't do this correctly, but I usually listen to podcasts
Oh, you're good,
when
man.
I work it out. What's the latest CD that I've kind of jammed out to?
Well,
I guess.
what podcast are you got on right now?
Yeah, there's one called Real Brokers podcast that's solid about real estate. I've got a few podcasts by just sort of general like thinkers, either about sports or business, different things like that. So yeah, kind of bounce around. One of the sports podcasts I really like is a guy named Ryan Russillo. He does a lot of
Yeah,
like book. Yeah, I love Ryan. He's great. He does a lot of like book reviews and stuff like that as well. Kind of more dialogue than just sports, but like that's a podcast I'll check out.
very cool. Very cool. What's your go-to like type of beverage, whether it's like coffee, tea, soda, energy drink? Do you have something?
Yeah, I make a mean tea. I used to drink coffee, but I got a little too hyped on it. I'll still drink coffee, but if I'm coffee, it got to the point where I was like a latte meeting. I'm like six lattes. So I'll do an English breakfast tea. I'll throw a little honey in it. English breakfast tea, steep everything, top it off with a little bit of oat milk. Absolutely delicious. Absolutely
Nice.
delicious. That's my morning drink.
Do you have a favorite cheat meal?
Pizza's pretty easy. I eat a lot of red meat. I eat a lot of protein. I try not to go too crazy on the carbs and stuff at this
Yeah,
point. Pizza's good. Have you had Roman Villa in Colorado Springs?
I have it, man.
Roman Villa. Roman Villa. They should pay me for that plug. Roman Villa is outstanding.
I love it, bro. And are you a early bird or a night owl?
Yeah, I'm a night owl. I don't sleep much. I'm a 3-4 hour night sleeper. I had to really like train myself to get up early. So I'm up at 5:30. I usually go to bed at like 1 a.m. So I'm kind of an early bird and a night owl, to be honest with you.
Wow.
So yeah, I just don't sleep much. I got too many intrusive thoughts running around in here.
I love it, man. Hey, you got to get it when you get it, right?
Gotta get it. But for anybody who's young in real estate and starting real estate that's listening, you gotta become a morning person. I mean, it's if you're a Wall Street trader, you start when the market opens, right? I mean, in real estate, our market opens at 8. You can call clients at 8. Clients can call you at 8. You can have closings at 8. You got to start at 8 a.m. No later. No
Love it,
later.
man. Love it,
Yeah.
man. Well, you made it through rapid fire section of that too, man. Well done. The advice that you have is sound, and definitely appreciate you coming on and chatting with us a little bit, man. People
Anytime.
are Absolutely, man. If people are interested in getting a hold of you for your services, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I still sell real estate. Obviously, that's still my number one favorite thing to do. You can reach me at 719-271-8888 or makespringshome.com. And if you're a young realtor who just needs some guidance, wants to have lunch, wants to talk about their career or where it might be going, give me a call, reach out. I'm super open and I really believe in paying it forward. So happy to help any way I can. And just a side note, thank you. I apologize. My allergies, I woke up. I know I'm going to be on your show and here I am stuffed up. I appreciate you gutting through it with me.
Man, you did a great job. Thank you so much for being a part of it. And, I've always had nothing but mad respect for you, dude. Keep doing what you're doing there in Colorado, man. And best of luck on all your future endeavors, my friend.
Absolutely, Ryan. You too, man. Keep doing it, man. You're like I say, you're a real one, man. I always appreciate talking with you and let's do it over a steak next time.
Absolutely. Thank you again for jumping on the Scaling Up Success podcast, everybody. If once again, this is powered by Cynergist, your scalable operations company. Until the next time, guys, take care and be safe.